Good evening. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metal market wrap-up for this Tuesday, November 10th, 2019. Nothing really new today in the way of news to move markets one way or the other, so we're still digesting the fact of the COVID-19 and the fact that today we heard that there might even be, if the government moves quick enough, there could be dispensing of shots in November this month. Can you imagine that? The first of your 2 shots. Now they'll probably give it to hospital people and those on the front line of the disease. In fact, there's 4 tiers, so keep that in the back of your mind. The other thing the market is adjusting to is as that hits the marketplace, and with luck and science, the markets get back and we get back to a normal life. What does that mean? Well, that becomes the big issue, and that's what you're digesting all of a sudden. To me, the market is building in, and has built in already, that President-elect Biden will take the White House. I understand the Republicans fighting with, not fighting, but backing the president. Let me say that the right way. He has his right. Everybody has a right to challenge. The Democrats did it over and over. But that will run its course as well. And if nothing is found, then we will have a new president sooner rather than later. And the market has to adjust to the redoing of all these executive orders, of the trade that happened, the immigration barriers that we've got, the Supreme Court's hearing the Obamacare. But what's this have to do with metals? Well, it actually has to do a lot, because the two coming together start to form what's going to be. What's the next wave? Not of COVID, what's the next financial wave? You saw copper today fall back to its 18-day average, and from there it's up 4 cents already. The gold market and silver backing off. By the way, I did that silver report we talked about. I'll show you at the end of this how to get to it, but it's on our website, getting a lot of views. If you're on our mailing list, we already have sent out to you the links and everything you need to go view it. On the energy markets, we're seeing the question, okay, now what? We know 4 months from now, things will be much more normal than they are today. But let's go to the gold and see what we've got. For the week, on a closing basis, this is only Wednesday early trade, right? But we are down nearly 4%, or $73.50. When we take a look at a daily bar chart, you've got this wild swing from 48 hours ago. The market's got a high of 1966.10. It crashed down from there, and we're back down $108 from just yesterday at that low, and now we're up a little bit. Okay, but we're not trending. You have a lower low and a higher high. That is not a trend. You're going to get one soon. The question is, which way is it? The resistance when the market rallies, and if it rallies, is back up at the 18-day average of closes in red and the 100-day. You know, the funniest part of this is when you sometimes lose sight of things. If you take a look, I want to come right here. You'll notice the 18-day average is over the 100. Here they're closing in on each other. And here we still have the 18 over the 100, and this day was November 3rd, the election. The market the very next day had the bearish crossover, but did it follow through? Well, you had an outside day down, you took out that day's high, and you still didn't change the moving averages. But when that occurs, remember this day, you normally get a run up to the closest moving average or a Bollinger Band. Doesn't mean it has to, but that's what I look for. The market up here, this is November 6th, and obviously this is what happened. Where are those Bollinger Bands that I was just talking about? Right here. So when we had, and I want you to come back to this, the outside day down, the goal, even with a bearish crossover, if you take that number out, is still the upper Bollinger Band. This is still in play, but because the market's over the numbers, it's not active. Now, the market not only gets active on one day, as you can see, it goes right to the lower Bollinger Band and the market is halted. If you think you can trade that, great. I say most people can't. I say most people that came in and had their long positions got their head handed to them. And is it something they did right or wrong? No. Markets have these reactions. That's what they do. They reprice themselves on a regular basis. In terms of the slow stochastic, I'm not anxious about the downside. Why? You're already oversold. Any reading under 30 in the slow stochastic, either of the K, which is the red, or the D, is an oversold condition. You're near the lower Bollinger Band. I don't see an edge in the market. I see no reason to be long, no reason to be short. See my hands? You put them in your pocket, you wait for your moment. The gold-silver ratio overall tells me a story that silver is still trying to gain on gold. Whenever the market is under the 18-day average, it means that you're falling in value. These are how many ounces of silver you would need in a perfect world with no commission of any type, nobody making a profit, just on the cash market. How many you can go to a store in your wheelbarrow, wheel that in and walk out with an ounce of gold. That is it. And the lower it goes, it means the stronger silver is relative to gold. In the silver market, what we've done is fallen back to the 18-day average in red and the 100-day, and this is your battleground. It's labeled as clear as can be. In order to get through this low, you got to get through a Bollinger Band, which will be very difficult. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it should be difficult. If the world's going to get back to normal, which means factories humming, we're consuming, we're outside, we're already buying our cars, but we're traveling, we're doing our normal things, well, there's going to be a demand for industrial goods. I mean, that is what you're already seeing. Why do you think the tech stocks are falling as you're getting some of these rotations? Just explaining what it is. Well, copper and silver play a role in that. And in the copper market, you were up here the other day, and I said, I think the pros took money off the table. The buy zone is the 18-day average, but the risk is rather solid. It's big, down to under the 302.50 area, which is this day's low, which was 302.85. So 302.80 would be the risk. What did the market do today? It fell right to that number, and it's rewarding the people that bought it there. It's still a heck of a risk. Where's the resistance? When you hit the 18-day average of closes, it's sort of like a pinball game. Now you've tilted the game, you hit your objective, market falls back to the 18-day average, you either won something, you get a free game, or hey, I can take it off tilt, and the game starts again. Got it? Think of it that way. That is, again, the resistance point. Market is not overbought. You have a reading of 67. There's still room to the upside. In the platinum market, now the question is, when you look at the chart, this low of 2 days ago is lower than this low. You have a higher high and a lower low. The market is trying to hold right in here, and overall it's going very much sideways in the Bollinger Bands. What is momentum doing? Momentum often, by the way, leads the market, and it's doing nothing. It's just drifting sideways, sort of what prices are doing as well. We then get to the palladium market, which is overbought. It hit its upper Bollinger Band. It did it right here. To be specific, this day was 25.12, the Bollinger Band. You're right at that number. And what did the market do? Well, it's been spinning its wheels. That's all I can say. Support back here. Is there a trend? No. You have a lower low and a higher high. So let's go to the dollar index. You've gone from the upper to the lower Bollinger Band, just like that. Boom, bang. This is unusual, but getting the COVID vaccine out of nowhere, we were due to hear something, but I don't think anybody thought 90% cure rate. I don't think anybody thought we're going to get shots as early as November, and the world's excited. This is just the Pfizer-BioNTech. What about Moderna and the other companies? We're going to hear other things soon. So this is a big thing for the world. I've never lived through a pandemic. I imagine none of you have either, most of you that are watching this. It'd be hard. Back to 1917, you'd be 100 years old already. But I might have a viewer or two. But when you look at it, that's what you're dealing with back here. Oversold, we'll see what happens. I don't see a trade. In other words, as I look at all these markets, what I'm getting is a lot of nothing. That's expected. You just had an election. The market's going through the gyrations. And it looks to me with tonight's win in North Carolina that this race in the Senate is all about Georgia. We'll see. It's probably going to be the most expensive races we've ever seen. Imagine the millions that both parties are going to throw at this to try to get control of the Senate. I can't even imagine it. It's going to be insane. It could end up in a tie in the Senate, but all you need is one seat to keep Republican control. So what I did today, as I told you, I wanted to go back to one of the markets that I think is going to be interesting. You know copper's in a bull move, okay? Where's the silver in all this? Because I don't think gold's ready to do anything until inflation comes our way. But silver can be the surprise market. So I've given you the seasonals, price counts. I give you a monthly chart. I'm giving you the weekly, the dailies. For those of you that are ETF traders, I give you the SLV as well. I put it all together. It's on our website. Just go to the website. We don't send it. Just go to the website under the word research at the top. You'll see the silver report, the date of today. Away you go. It is free to all my subscribers. It is free to you too if you haven't seen more than 3 of my reports in a 365-day period. Beyond that, you're going to pay a small fee to see it. That's the advantage of getting my research. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. And by the way, I'm getting ready to record another special report, another market. You take care. Hope you enjoy that report.